Welcome into Extra Innings. I am McKee. This is Ryan Schumpert. We're here in Omaha at TD Ameritrade Park, where Tennessee's season just came to an end, courtesy of the Texas Longhorns. Texas beats Tennessee 8-4 in an elimination game, and things were going well for Tennessee at the beginning. Things did not end up going well for Tennessee. And to me, Ryan, we'll get to the bats and the offense here in a moment, and we'll also talk about what's next for Tony Vitello. But to me, the story of today's game, Blake Tidwell, Sean Hunley, two great arms for Tennessee all season long. They did not have a great day.
No, they didn't. And look, even if Tennessee was able to get a win, the outing Tidwell gave them little chance to fight their way all the way back through the losers bracket. And it was Tidwell's first bad outing since Texas A&M back on April 26th. So a poor outing for him. And Sean Hunley, for the first time all year, struggles in back-to-back games. And if you would have told me that before the game, I wouldn't have think Tennessee would have had much of a chance to win. Even then, Tennessee was kind of in the fight when Hunley exited, just didn't have a whole lot of offense on Tanner Witt.
And Tennessee did only lose by 4 runs. It feels like Tennessee lost by 20, but it was only a 4-run game at the end of the game, and it was a close game throughout. And Tennessee's offense came to play early and often, jumped out to a 2-0 lead thanks to a Jordan Beck RBI double down the left field line. Pete Durkay then hits an RBI ground out. You're up 2-0, and then Blake Tidwell gives up the 3-run home run in the bottom half of the inning. And it was a backbreaker. Yes, it's still early, but a backbreaker because it's 2 outs, full count. Feels like you could have got out of the inning there, and it was just a backbreaker. And that kind of summarized things because Tennessee did come back and tie the game and make it 4-4, but then they had some things not go their way, and I believe it was the 5th inning there.
I think it was the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yes.
And it was, another instance where you felt like Tennessee was going to get out of it. Ross Kivett gets ejected. There's a lot of energy on the Tennessee side. Tennessee fans are up on their feet. They were about to, or had a great chance to strand a runner on third with less than 2 outs, kind of reverse some of their luck from Sunday's game against Virginia. Huge 2-out hit, big play at the plate. Not a great tag by Connor Pavoloni, but upon further review, it looked like he definitely got it in time.
He was out. The runner was.
Yeah, the runner was out. The replay of Booth, wherever they are, Philadelphia, they saw things differently. And on top of one more run coming in there, next hit's a single as well. So it goes from being potentially getting out 4-4, then at least 5-4, limiting the damage to 7-4 really quickly. And I don't know if I'd say Tennessee lost their juice after that, but they never really threatened again.
Yeah, and Tennessee did not lose today because of the umpires, but the umpires did Tennessee zero favor. I know you and I are in agreement on Ross Kivett should not have been thrown out prior to his explosion. I know the explosion is what made it on Twitter, but that's not why he got ejected. I did not see it, but according to some people in the press box, Ross Kivett kind of slammed the rail, slammed his binder in the dugout after a call he didn't agree with. Not ejection worthy, but the third base umpire all the way across the field decides to throw out Ross Kivett. Really quick trigger, should not have happened. So that did not go Tennessee's way. And then the play at the plate, a beautiful throw by Max Ferguson on the relay. Great job by Beck to cut the ball off. And Connor Pavoloni maybe a little slow on the tag, but he was out. And that would have prevented a 3-run inning, would have been a 1-run inning, would have been 5-4 at the end of the 4th. Instead, it's 7-4, and it just sank Tennessee season, quite frankly. And the pitching didn't help Tennessee on Tuesday, whatever today is. The bats showed up early, but the bats went quiet at the end of the game.
They did, and Tanner Witt was really, really good for Texas. Just gave up 2 base runners in 5.2 innings, and Tennessee just didn't really hardly threaten much. You finally saw, for all the Tennessee can't win in a big ballpark, you finally saw a couple balls that might have gotten out at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, but in the end, Texas had a couple too. That wasn't a big deal for Tennessee today, and they just didn't have enough juice at the end of the game. And for a team that has responded time and time again when things went against them, they just didn't have enough in the tank tonight.
They didn't. And now all attention turns to Tony Vitello. Tennessee's season is over. They go 0-2 in Omaha, but there's going to be a lot of discussion about Tony Vitello over this next week or two as the season's over. And now, I imagine in his mind, now is the appropriate time, as it should be, to explore other options if he is going to. And I know for a fact that Tennessee is going to want to try to get a deal done ASAP here.
They will, and it'll be, you would think things will move quickly either way. LSU's coaching searches already been going on, 3 weeks when Mainieri retired, and heated up in the past week since their season ended. You know they're going to talk to multiple people in Omaha. It seems like they're kind of focusing in on Vitello right now. So Tennessee will want to get a deal done quick. I think they're going to do everything they can to keep him, especially with the facilities. I think they're going to make major commitments. It's just a wait-and-see game now.
Yes, and Tony Vitello is not the only coach in consideration at LSU, but it does feel like Tony Vitello is at the top. I think Tennessee is going to put all its chips in on Tony Vitello, and I know this may be an unpopular opinion, but if Tony Vitello leaves Tennessee, it's not going to be because of a lack of effort on Tennessee's part. He's going to choose to pursue arguably the best job in college baseball. So there will be plenty of time to have that discussion, and there will be plenty of time over on the General's quarters for sure, and over at Volquest.com. Tennessee season has come to an end here in Omaha. Ryan Schumpert, Ben McKee, we thank you so much for everybody who tuned in and supported our coverage along the way. We appreciated all the interaction.